Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Ginger Fisherman. Today I'm out doing some lure fishing. It's been a while since I've done that. I've been focusing on dead baiting and a bit of live baiting recently, wanting to get underwater footage. But as the water level's risen, it's got a bit darker. There's no point in me trying to do underwater stuff, so I'm going to focus on seeing if I can get some pike on lures instead. Got my heavy setup with me, as you can see here. That's loaded with 80-pound Power Pro and nice and beefy. So if I was stuck into a nice fish, if I was using some heavy lures, then it's a good setup to go to. Now the lures I'm using today, I'm actually using some lures sent to me by Westin. I picked which ones I wanted, and I tell you what, I think I made a good choice. They look absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to get them out for you. Now, as I am fishing a river that is high, it's kind of just starting to come into flood, if I'm honest. The main lures I'm going to be using are going to be some with a bit of weight to them, some that are going to sink down, and some that aren't going to get too snagged up in the weed, because there is a bit of heavy weed coming down with the rising water. So this one will be the main one I use today. This is Ricky the Roach with paddle tail, and as you can see there, I've got a stinger on there with, I think that might be a size 1 hook. There we go. So what I've done there is I've got a jig head which I've clipped the hook off, I've pushed it into the nose and super glued it in, and then what I've done is the stinger hooks over that, and then you clip the wire trace onto the eye of the jig head that I pushed in there, and there you go. It's perfectly weighted. It's only about 2 gram, that jig head. I mean, I could go heavier to 10 gram, let's say if the water was absolutely charging through and it's really deep to get to the bottom. But this way, with just a 2 gram, the bait actually almost sits neutral in the water. It's a very slow sink, and when you bring it back through the water, you can bring it through on a very slow retrieve, which is sometimes what you need to get those winter pike to take the bait. So that's going to be the main one I'm going to be using. My secondary is going to be this hybrid Ricky the Roach. I mean, it looks like a lot of the silverfish in my water. Some of the roach are quite pale, and it just mimics a perfect little bait fish in the water. The action on this is superb, and with the material being so soft, I've actually had takes on this before when I've just sat the bait on the bottom and just twitched it on the bottom, and as you're twitching it, the bait twitches and it looks just like a dying fish on the bottom, and pike have actually gone and picked it up without me having to retrieve it. Right, now to the other baits. I might not use these so much in the video. I might not use them at all, just because the conditions don't really permit it, if I'm honest. First one is hard body Ricky Roach. It looks fantastic, but I'm afraid it's only going to really be a lure I use mainly in the summertime, mainly on still water, sorry. And that's because it's a very, very slow sink. It's almost neutral, and you can bring it through on a very slow retrieve. And with the jerking action you can go on it, you can give it a really good action in the water, which perfectly mimics a dying distressed fish. But unfortunately, with the river I'm fishing, it's too high. This bait ain't gonna really get below the first foot of water, and there's an extra 3 or 4 foot on what there should be, and it's dark, so it might be one if I find a slack water. I'll put that away. This was probably my favourite one that they sent me. Absolutely looks fantastic. I can't wait to catch something on it. That's Barry the Bass. I mean, it looks superb. This is a peacock bass pattern. I thought, I want a lure that I've never seen near me before. I've never seen anyone using, and I've definitely not seen anyone using this before. The action on this, once again, it's a bit like the hard body Ricky Roach that I've just shown you. Absolutely fantastic. You can twitch and pause it, jerk it, gives a really good distressing dying action. Unfortunately, the conditions don't really permit the use of it, just for the fact that, like I say, water's high. I'm going to lose a lot of the action on it, pulling it through this deep, hard flowing water. But like I say, if I find a slack water, I'll give it a couple of chucks. And the very last one is a hypo tease with a spinner blade on the back. Another lure that looks fantastic. I'm sure it'll catch me some fish, but not really going to use it today. It's got 2 hooks on there, and with the amount of weed coming down, I think I'm just going to get snagged up all the time. So yeah, with this really cold weather, I'm going to stick to the 2 most realistic baits I've got. This one's going to get clipped onto the line first, and we'll see if we can catch any fish. fantastic little first fish. Absolutely brilliant. Completely nailed it. Oh, nice. Beautiful fish. This pike took it out of nowhere. I wasn't even recording, I just stumbled across this spot of a bit of slack water at the far bank and had a little flick out. Didn't see anything. And right under my feet it smashed it. Just a shame I didn't get it on camera really. Once again on the paddle tail Ricky Roach. I did actually lose a fish on the hybrid bait. I struck into it and there's a tree above me, so as I struck into it my rod hit the tree and I got a slack and the fish just came off. So I'll unhook this one, then we'll get it back. Another fantastic take. Absolutely howard it. Lovely little Jackie, absolutely nailed it. Gonna need forceps for this one. There we go, beautiful little fish. Once again on the paddle tail bait. I've not found any slack waters yet where I can really use the slower baits, the slower sinking baits, like the swim baits, but there's a couple of slack waters coming up. I really can't wait to give the peacock bass a try and see whether the pike like to eat these nice peacock bass. Now I found a fish. It's probably the biggest one I've found so far today. It's in a little slack water down the edge. And we'll see if he's hungry for some bass. Let's see if he wants something a bit more natural. It seems today that they're really liking the more natural patterns. saying that, it's been very cold, and sometimes when we've had a cold spell, they go off the bright coloured stuff, and they prefer something that looks a lot more natural than something a little less risky. Because obviously not every pike is completely wild and never seen a hook before. I mean, especially this day and age with the amount of lure fishing that everyone does, you've probably seen the likes of fire tiger and albino God knows how many times. So sometimes something a little more natural does the trick. We'll find out. What a tape! Oh, I was right, it wanted something a bit more natural. Jesus. I treat it almost like a dead bait. I sank that roach imitation right in front of its nose and just twitched it along the bottom. And it just went down and scooped it straight up. Come on. Oh yes. What a beautiful fish. Absolutely mint condition. Actually, I've just noticed a small wound. But look at that, absolutely nailed it. Such a good hook hold as well. I mean, I can easily take that out without having to use forceps. What a great fish on that hybrid roach. Sometimes something a bit more natural is what'll get you the prize. There we go. I'm getting good at hooking them when the camera's not rolling. You wanted that. Look at that. Straight down its neck. Definitely gonna have to get the forceps on this one. There we go. Nice little Jackie. Yeah, I'm getting good at hooking him when the camera's not rolling. And a beautiful little jack. Oh, and away he goes. So guys, thank you for watching. There'll be a link in the description if you want to buy any of the lures that you've seen today. There's a link to the website. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a fantastic time. I've caught a few fish.